This guy right here, super weird. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most evil Rick moments in Rick and Morty.
What the hell? What happened back there?
Why don't you ask the smartest people in the universe, Jerry? Oh yeah, you can't. They blew up.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at the most despicable things beloved anti-hero Rick Sanchez has ever done. Some of these moments are major plot points within the series, however, so consider this your spoiler alert.
Does evil exist? And if so, can one detect and measure it? Rhetorical question, Morty.
Number 10, when he sells weapons to assassins.
Hey, Rick! Here you go, 3,000 flurbos.
For Rick, morality is a pretty subjective term. And by subjective, we mean it's for suckers. In the second episode of Season 2, Rick takes Morty with him for a little business transaction. More specifically, he sells a dangerous weapon to hyper-enthusiastic assassin Krombopolis Michael.
So this shoots antimatter? My target can't be killed with regular matter.
And just what did he want the money for? To fund research? To aid in a quest to overthrow the tyranny of the intergalactic government? Nope, just to get tokens for his favorite interstellar video game arcade, Blitz and Shits.
What the hell? Where am I?
55 years. Not bad, Morty.
A hilarious bit of nihilism, sure, but also pretty twisted when you think about it.
Yeah, that's the difference between you and me, Morty. I never go back to the carpet store.
Number 9, when he's emotionally abusive to Summer and Morty.
Jeez, Rick! You can't say F you to your granddaughter?
I just did, Morty. Here's dessert. You.
Grandfather of the Year, Rick is not. Though it may not seem quite as shocking as some of the other entries on this list, emotional abuse is vile. While Rick has repeatedly been shown to love his family, he doesn't hesitate to dole out insults and bust their self-esteem on a regular basis. Those kinds of mixed messages can mess a person up. The trauma of having such an explosively volatile father has already driven his daughter Beth into a state of high-functioning alcoholism, with a heavy side of abandonment issues. And Morty is the living, breathing face of anxiety. Summer has some spine, but it's stuff like this that chips away at a person's psyche.
But you have to understand that as far as Grandpa's concerned, you're both pieces of shit.
Number 8, when he degrades Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, don't worry about it. So what if the most meaningful day of your life was a simulation operating at minimum capacity?
Speaking of damaged family members, there is perhaps no one more put upon than Jerry. Okay, he's an incompetent airhead with delusions of grandeur, but he's mostly harmless. Throughout the series, Rick picks on his daughter's husband, making it clear that he doesn't just dislike him, he hates him.
Pretty cool, huh, Morty? Oh.
I thought it was cool.
I don't give a what you think, Jerry.
Of course, Beth and Jerry got together when Rick was AWOL from Beth's life, but Rick doesn't see it that way. A constant struggle for Jerry is unemployment, and part of this problem is his lack of confidence. But self-esteem is hard to build up when you have your father-in-law, whom your spouse defends at all costs, always degrading you in front of your kids.
Jerry, it's your house. Whatever you say it is how it is, but I think a blind man could see that Beth is looking for the door.
Number 7, when he messes up Unity.
Maybe it's part of getting old. Or maybe I just missed being with a collective.
It's safe to say that Rick isn't great with one-on-one relationships. So when it comes to one-on-a-million relationships, things get rickety wrecked, son. After encountering an old flame, a hive mind entity named Unity, Rick and the Lady of Many Faces seem to rekindle the spark. However, since they'd last met, Unity has matured and is trying to responsibly govern those she conquered. But one afternoon with Rick nearly undoes it all.
Don't waste your brain on those weirdos, Unity. They're no different from any of the aimless chumps that you occupy.
Realizing his bad influence before it's too late, Unity takes off, but is shaken from the experience. Rick is too, for that matter, as the aftermath brings Rick to his lowest point in the series. Number 6, when he creates and abandons Abradolf Linkler.
Great. Who invited Abradolf Linkler?
For series regulars, it came as no surprise that Rick would dabble at playing God. In an attempt to make a morally impartial super leader, he combined the genes of honest Abe Lincoln and Adolf Hitler. The result is Abradolf Linkler, a mixed-up clone who's just a mess, really.
You brought me into this world, a suffering abomination, tortured by the duality of its being. But I shall finally know peace when I watch the life drain from your wretched body!
Always at odds with his conflicting ideologies, like Frankenstein's monster, he seeks answers from his creator. Rick, however, does not see him for the confused individual he is, but as a failed experiment, and essentially undumped garbage. After Linkler tracks him down and tries to redeem himself, Rick still abandons him entirely on an alien planet.
Revenge. What?
Number 5, when he takes part in The Purge.
You know, sometimes it's called the cleansing or the red time. There was this one world that called it just murder night.
Rick sorta had it coming when he decided to get his kicks watching a planet perform The Purge. Yeah, just like in the movie. Well, sucks to be him because he gets stuck there. Morty, who's stuck with him, is justifiably horrified. Rick's solution? Do a little purging themselves.
We're totally justified because we're saving a little girl. I mean, we're both free and clear to murder these people.
Morty must have some pent-up anger to get out, right? Instead of trying to protect his grandson, he has Summer send them some super suits so they can become more efficient in fighting back/killing. Before long, Morty snaps and goes on a rampage.
Ooh, boy, you're really going for it over there, huh?
You know, we're thinking there's some therapist who's gonna bank big helping Morty unpack this emotional baggage one day.
You like that? You want me to cut to 3 weeks earlier when you were alive?
Number 4, when he forces Morty to smuggle space seeds up his butt.
Just come help me get these seeds, all right, buddy?
Sure thing, Rick.
Waking Morty up in the middle of the night, Rick convinces him to go on a no-questions-asked crazy adventure.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Ow,
Gotta get out
ow,
of here.
you're tugging
Come
me
on,
too
I got a
hard.
surprise for you, Morty.
Rick is after some seed pods and wants Morty to help carry them. But after Morty breaks his legs, which Rick takes his time to remedy, they're forced to go through customs run by the Intergalactic Federation. Since the seeds are illegal, he tells Morty he's gotta shove those things up his butt, way up there, essentially turning his grandson into a drug mule. Oh, and on the way home, he has Morty straight up murder a Gromflemite. Jeez, Rick.
Glenn's bleeding to death. Someone call his wife and children.
They're not robots, Rick!
Number 3, when he creates the Pocket Universe.
Wait for the ramp, Morty. They love the slow ramp. Really gets their dicks hard when they see this ramp.
Renewable energy is a great thing. However, Rick's idea for perpetual energy was to create a mini-universe and have the creatures that live there carry out a mindless task in perpetuity in order to create this energy. When he tries to defend his system, saying how his miniverse people get something out of it, Morty rightfully points out that it's still slavery.
You have a whole planet sitting around making your power for you? That's slavery!
It's society. They work for each other, Morty.
Worse, when he goes inside to find out why his car battery, the thing the miniverse is powering, isn't working, he strong-arms the creatures back into subservience and smashes another tiny verse, destroying not one but 2 new universes in the process. Dark, Rick. Dark.
Nothing you do matters. Your existence is a lie.
Number 2, when he destroys the galactic government, the Council of Ricks, and Jerry.
Grandpa Rick!
Duh.
Despite what it might look like on this list, Rick is a complicated character with a complicated past. But since we've come to know the mad scientist, it's become clear that 3 things especially piss him off. Jerry, the Council of Ricks, and the Galactic Federation. After being arrested, it seems that all 3 have him out of their hair, until it's revealed that getting arrested was part of Rick's plan to take them all down in one fell swoop.
Mission accomplished, boys. Pull me out. Roger that.
If Jerry had another light on in the attic, perhaps he'd realize that he's lucky to just be getting off with a divorce. The other 2 factions got it a bit bloodier.
Can't we just portal home?
Not until I finish what I started.
Number 1, when he Cronenberg's Earth.
Hey, there's no dangers or anything or side effects, right?
Whoa, what am I, a hack? Go nuts, Morty.
Rick's greatest assets, which are his abilities to rationalize and adapt, are also his greatest flaws, making him overly blasé and ultimately unfeeling. When a love potion he makes for Morty piggybacks on a flu virus, the crazy genes he mixed together infect the entire human race, and the results are ugly.
Okay, well, sometimes science is more art than science, Morty. A lot of people don't get that.
But rather than work tirelessly to find a cure to save his daughter, granddaughter, and son-in-law, he abandons them and the entire planet to a disgusting fate.
Whole planet of Cronenberg's walking around down there, Morty. At least they're not in love with you anymore, though. It's a huge step in the right direction.
Bringing only Morty, Rick finds a new planet in a parallel timeline and makes it clear that people, even loved ones, are largely interchangeable and insignificant to him.
Now we can just slip into the place of our dead selves in this reality, and everything will be fine. We're not skipping a beat, Morty. Now help me with these bodies.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.